Hello, this is Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I'm going to be doing an update on what's been happening on my website, some of the new products that I've been offering, and also this concept of citizen scientists and how to be one. I'm doing a simulcast on my video and through Spaces on X. So let's begin here. The concept of a citizen scientist. Let's start with that, and then how do you become one? All right. The idea here is that the scientific understanding, especially in medicine, by the average public is low. Let's just be honest. And that there is a desire for many people out there to obtain more knowledge about science and medicine without having to go through the formal process and spending all the time reading the textbooks and going to class and all this stuff. There's also individuals that want to challenge their mind and learn something new. And then there's others that are young that don't know what they want to do, as an adult, and may want to pursue science or medicine. So there's different citizen scientists, right? My observation through the crisis in 2020 was that there was a baseline of understanding that was very poor, and that citizens were taken advantage of by agencies. I'm not going to mention the names. I don't need to, because I want my videos up on YouTube. Took advantage of a population that was not as knowledgeable as they should be. In addition, when you go to your doctor, there is something called the patient-physician power imbalance. All right. The doctor has a lot more, quote, knowledge than the patient, and many times the patient isn't asking the questions that they should be to the doctor, and sometimes the physician will have horseplants. And when you have a more informed public, you'll be able to be more discerning on your own healthcare. In addition, by being a citizen scientist and learning more about medicine, you're going to be able to improve your own health. All right, and be able to catch something earlier because you're listening to your body. Your body, if you listen, can tell you a lot about what is starting to emerge that may not necessarily be caught early enough by a physician. All right, with that said, we need more individuals out there, citizen scientists, that can be more discerning with the mainstream media. The far majority of the people, the far majority of the teleprompter, mainstream media, talk show hosts, they're not that intelligent. And they have very little understanding of science in most cases. Now, there are some journalists that are scientists, and there are some journalists that are, like Dr. Gupta from CNN. I mean, he's a neuroscientist. He's a neurosurgeon. So some people are knowledgeable, but many are not. Many of them, and unfortunately, they spit out a lot of nonsense. Not only that, they're very poor at statistics. And so if you're more discerning scientifically, you'll be able to see the bias that's going on with the Smith modernization and this attack that's happening from the agencies and through the conduit of mainstream media affecting people and how they make their decisions. You can read in between the lines of what I'm saying and how it applied to the 2020 crisis. I don't need to be explicit, because if you're not smart enough to understand what I'm saying in between the lines, you probably shouldn't even be listening to me, because you're just not smart enough. So with that said, let's dive deeper into how you become a citizen scientist and get more knowledgeable about medicine. If you go to my website, the-studio-reykjavik.com, I have links in the description of this video. I also have links that are pinned on X for my channel. And you just go to my website and you can sign up for classes. They're paid. They're $50 for different modules. And these modules will teach you different systems of the body. So you can understand at a very detailed level the anatomy, the physiology, the histology, physical examination, diagnostics, radiology of many different things, all right, many different systems. I started with the pulmonary system, but let me describe to you some of the systems that I will be doing. And this way you can start thinking about what sort of modules you would like to learn from. Basic pharmacology, behavioral science, biochemistry, biostats and epidemiology, cardiology, cell biology, dermatology, endocrinology, gastroenterology, genetics, hematology, immunology, infectious diseases, musculoskeletal, neurology, pathology, psychiatry, pulmonology, renal, and reproductive. So those are the modules that I'll be releasing. I started with the pulmonary module for obvious reasons. And what you do is you go to the store. If you're interested in purchasing these classes, you go to my store on the-studio-reykjavik.com and you click classes. Now, the first module that's been published is the pulmonology module for $50. You get a lot of information for $50, trust me. So you get 22 individual lectures. So some of these lectures are going to be pulmonary embryology, pulmonary anatomy, pulmonary physiology, hemoglobin, pulmonary circulation, hypoxia, ventilation and perfusion, carbon dioxide, and how that relates to the pulmonary system. Lung physical examination, you're going to learn about physical examinations and how to do auscultation. The pulmonary functional tests, obstructive lung disease, restrictive lung disease, treatment of COPD and asthma, pneumonia, pleural disease, lung cancer, sleep apnea, cystic fibrosis, tuberculosis, sarcoidosis, pulmonary embolism, and you'll learn about radiology and how to read x-rays. All right, so you're going to learn a lot for $50. All right, takes me a lot of effort to make this. So there's 22 lectures in this module. Each lecture has a full slide deck that's in PDF that you can download. And you will have a video lecture that's associated with that slide deck. All right, I have published so far the pulmonary embryology, the pulmonary anatomy, pulmonary physiology, the hemoglobin, pulmonary circulation, and the hypoxia. Tomorrow, each business day, I publish a new lecture. Some lectures are about 25 minutes long, others are about an hour long, depends on the content. All right, so you get really detailed information about how this system works, the pulmonary system works. Now, when you start watching these lectures and you're reading those PDFs, right, you're going to be gaining a body of knowledge, and that body of knowledge is going to grow over time, especially if you purchase the other modules, and you're going to understand on this the interplay of systems with your body, and you're going to start seeing more of this feedback loop between the systems, these positive and negative feedback loops, especially with endocrinology. So, and then you'll be able to listen to the news, listen to people that are in, let's say, the alternative media, and have your own discerning, educated opinion about what's going on. See, there's a lot of people that have opinions. They're not necessarily educated opinions. And so, not all opinions are equal. I have the right to have an opinion, but it doesn't mean that the opinion is correct. So we need an educated population, especially in medicine, as we move forward, because we are being targeted. And we need a more educated population to be able to stop this crazy train from happening. So go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and purchase the different medical modules for $50. You get a lot for $50. The first module is the pulmonary module, the pulmonology module. You get 22 lectures, you get 22 slide decks in PDF. You can download them. When you purchase for $50 this module, you will get an email of your password to be able to access the class. You just keep on using that password for that module. Each module for you will have a different password. So this is a great way to help support my work, and it's a great way for you to be able to get more educated about medicine and science. You'll be able to be more discerning while you're listening to someone that's on social media. You'll be able to be more discerning when you're listening to mainstream media, and you'll be more discerning because you'll be able to actually read a research paper and actually understand what it's saying instead of thinking you understand what it's saying. Because many people that are reading these research papers don't really understand what's being written in the research. Be more discerning. Not all research is valid. Some research needs to be coupled with dissenting opinions. This is the concept of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. When you're doing research, the design of the experiment is really important, and how it couples with other, is it confirming or non-confirming certain other data, right? You got to be more discerning about some of these things instead of just looking at a research study, looking at the headline, the title, or just the abstract, and getting some sort of knee-jerk opinion about it. A lot of people that I've noticed throughout the crisis have been highlighting bits and pieces of research only to confirm their own bias. And that's not the right way to do it. To do a proper lit review on that topic, you have to look at confirming and non-confirming data, confirming and non-confirming published work. And through that, you'll see a mosaic, an emerging consensus. That's how it works. All right. But if you don't have the basics on how the human body works, you're not going to be able to really understand that higher level of thinking. So go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and purchase these different medical modules. You get a lot for $50. You'll get a password, and you'll have access to the videos and the slide deck that you can download. So with that said, please go to the store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and purchase the pulmonary module. The next lecture that will go up tomorrow will be ventilation and perfusion. So this is dealing with something called VQ mismatch. Very important, especially with what we just went through in 2020 through 2023, with many people getting pulmonary fibrosis. So with that said, please go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com. Now, the next part of this video is to talk about how to improve your health, because not only are you going to be learning about medicine and about science, but also how to listen to your body and how to try to prevent disease and slow down the aging process and get healthier. All right. It's very simple. It's very simple. All right. And it's not a magic bullet. All right. It's not a cure-all for everything, but it's a very simple concept. And that is proper diet, proper exercise, proper balancing exercises, proper challenging of your mental acuity, learn things that you've never learned before, work with your hands, do things, make something, you know, cook instead of just cooking out of a box or out of a can, you know, make homemade meals, work with your hands, dice stuff, all right, build stuff in the garden, or be have some sort of be active, all right, talk to people in the real world, reduce your online content consumption. That means TV, watching YouTube, you know, uh, reduce your content on social media, be in the real world. And you're going to start noticing that you're moving away from transhumanism. You're moving away from all this negativity, and you're becoming more and more human. All right. It's about humanism versus transhumanism. All right. Now, I wrote a book a few years ago about artificial intelligence. All right. I was very negative about artificial, that book is very dystopic. All right. It compares my thoughts on humanism versus this transhumanism aspects that were being promoted by Kurzweil and Singularity Institute, Singularity University. And there are some, key players that are tied into this transhumanism. And some of the negative things about transhumanism. Now, people would say, why are you talking about artificial intelligence in a video about health? It's totally related. And it's totally related to what just happened with Apple with their VR set. All right. We are moving towards transhumanism. The question is how much of the population will split off and say no. Now, in my book, I talk about this split. And this is the monkism, what I call monkism. That means it doesn't mean that you're going to be a Luddite. You're going to still use technology, but you're not going to be embedded with technology like the transhumanists. Now, artificial intelligence and VR, virtual reality, and augmented reality are merging. There's an article that just came out that the VR set for Apple will have some sort of plug-in for ChatGPT. All right, so you'll be able to see it on the screen. Now, I had the developer kit for Oculus when I was developing my software, Poseidon software, which was a three-dimensional graphing software for trading markets. So I was an early adopter of Oculus when they were issuing their developer kits. All right. And you could design a VR world in Unity, which is the software, Unity. And I was able to create multiple screens within this world, virtual world, to be able to see the market as these different screens were updating. Okay. So I did some, and I'll replay the video. I'll show you that. I'll replay the videos of my development within this VR world using the Oculus developer kit. So, and this is, I think this was in 2015, 2016. Okay. Now, at the same time, I was writing the book, Artificial Intelligence. So there's this merge between artificial intelligence, VR, and augmented reality. So virtual reality and augmented reality, AR. So VR, AR, and AI, they're merging. All right. And because it's kind of, these devices are closer to your body, right? These are the beginnings of the transhumanism. The Apple Watch, beginnings of transhumanism. I don't wear an Apple Watch, even though that the Ultra Apple Watch is kind of a cool device, and the idea of getting telemetry for for your health is an important feature. It's the beginnings of transhumanism, having the device on your body all the time. And if you're getting updates, information like your email, and you get some sort of hepatic um, signal, a shaking signal from your phone or some beep, you'll go into a sympathetic state. So transhumanist devices will lead to disruptions in your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. All right. Most people don't understand what I just said. But if you actually listen to my lectures, you'll have a strong background on why it's so important to move away from transhumanism and be a humanist, right? And this is how you're going to do it. You will become a transhumanist if you don't get educated. I'll tell you that right now. Now, you may disagree with me, but if you don't get educated by educating yourself, you will become a transhumanist. Now, it's either going to be forced on you, or you will just gravitate to it. Many people that watch my show, I bet, have an Apple Watch. Guess what? You're part of the transhumanism movement, right? And then it goes even further, though. That's kind of the beginnings of transhumanism. The more, when you start having devices like the Google glasses, which didn't work very well, and they stopped that product. But if this vision set, this AR VR set from Apple takes off, you're going to start seeing more people walking around as these kind of like cyclopses, right? And you're going to have devices that are kind of glued to you, and you're constantly informed, right? You're constantly there, right? You're being less human. And not only that, the way that the device is with your body is very egocentric. It's very it's like you're very solo. You're not part of a community. You're more like in your own little world. You may be part of a community in the digital world, but you're not in the real world. You're kind of separated. And they even know that because they're trying to make the glass so you can see the real world. Now, the Oculus developer kit was not AR, it was VR. It was hardcore VR. So you didn't, so you were more in the virtual world than in some sort of augmented world. But take my advice. We're moving towards transhumanism. And what I said in my book is starting to take hold. And I wrote that around 2015, 2016. Maybe I published it in 2017 or 2018. I don't remember. Right. I don't pay attention to these little dates. Right. But the point here is that what I said in that book is coming home to roost. Right. All right. And that is the transhumanist movement is happening. All right. I disagree with Kurzweil. I think Kurzweil is a person that's afraid of death. There's nothing wrong with dying. All right. It's part of living. All right. But when you have the transhumanists are afraid of dying. And that's just the reason why they're into this whole uploading of their consciousness and brains, into computer of their brain and Neuralink and all this crap. All right. Neuralink could maybe help people that are quadriplegic or have some sort of nervous system disorder and that be able to interact in the world. But what happens is it starts with someone that has a problem medically, and eventually they try to use this and integrate this into the mainstream that don't have medical problems. So it's this bifurcation between transhuman and humanism. So be a humanist. It means taking control of your body, being more active, work with your hands, build stuff, grow gardens, make homemade food. Just be more in the moment, more in the real world, less AR, less VR, and you're going to be better off. Now, just one other note about this whole transhumanist movement. If you look at the Apple Watch, even though you can have different colors, it's the same watch piece. And so everyone is homogeneous. Maybe you change the color of your band, Maybe you change the type of wristband that you have, but everyone's the same. And this is a problem with transhumanism. This is to make it cost effective for the company. They're going to make similar versions. And so everyone's going to start looking the same. Now, I don't know about females, but with guys, at least in the old school, watches, had that timepiece had craftsmanship and differences and nuances, right? You don't see those nuances and craftsmanship in the Apple Watch. Even though it's a technological marvel, it's this problem with transhumanism. All right. So enough said about transhumanism. So proper diet, proper exercise, proper balancing, because you need to activate your cerebellum. You need to, drink filtered water, proper sleep, get those REM cycle sleeps, proper supplementation, challenge your brain, be active. Even if you're older, you can still be active, right? And you're going to start slowing down your aging process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the products that I have on my store to help improve your health. It's based on a anti-aging protocol that I've been playing around with this since I was 16 years old. All right. And as products have been coming on the market, I've been adding or subtracting and tweaking this protocol. All right. It's very simple. The core of the protocol, this anti-aging protocol, and boost up your immune system is neutralize pathogens, bring down free radicals, bring down inflammation. And then you add stuff to that core. So the core to neutralize pathogens is max 14 or max 35 or silver solution that I offer, which the silver solution is a 30 ppm. Max 14 is a 14 ppm, and max 35 is a 35 ppm, parts per million. So take a teaspoon of this a day, you gargle with it, you swish it in your mouth, you swallow it. It's neutralizing pathogens, all right? And it'll also improve your oral health, oral hygiene. So by neutralizing pathogens, you're not constantly fighting a pathogen, weakening your immune system. The second part of the protocol, the core, is C60. I sell it in avocado and coconut oil in 2 ounce, 4 ounce, and an 8 ounce bottle. This will bring down free radicals. By bringing down free radicals, you're going to reduce the cellular stress and improve your mitochondria. When you're improving your mitochondria, you're going to boost up your ATP. When you have more ATP, you're going to have more energy, and you're going to have actually a better immune system. And when you have more energy, your neurons fire better, and you're going to have better cellular health and metabolism. And if you're moving around more, you're going to have better bone density and better muscle mass. So trust me on this. Make sure you get the C60 and bring down those free radicals. The last part of the protocol, the core of the protocol, is to bring down inflammation. Now, what you do to bring down that inflammation is to take ashwagandha root every day. That will control your blood glucose levels, and help with your stress response, especially with cortisol. So the whole idea here is to control your blood glucose levels, bring down that inflammation that's caused by sugar, right, in your vascular system, and also take the turmeric, right, which is an antioxidant, but it's also brings down inflammation. And so that's the third part of the anti-aging protocol. By doing that, bringing down inflammation, bringing down the free radical load in your cells, and neutralizing pathogens, that's the core to slow down the aging process and to get healthier. You're bringing down those chronic problems, and you're going to be able to slowly rebuild your immune system. Okay, now some of the things that you want to add to that core. All right. Probiotic, really important. By having a good gut biome, you're going to be able to have a better communication between your gut and your liver. You're going to be able to absorb nutrients better. You're going to have more consistent stools, and you're going to have actually a better communication between your gut and your brain, right? So I have it either in a capsule form or in a powdered form. Some people prefer powder and mix it with their food. That's what I do. Some other people don't. They want low maintenance and they just want to pop a capsule. So I also have it in a capsule form. But they're high quality probiotics. Please go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and get either the capsule probiotic or the powder probiotic. Vitamin C, important. It helps with the immune system. It helps with skin because vitamin C is a cross-linker when you drink it with water and you have collagen. And that'll help with your dermal layer. So if you're not feeling well, take a double dose of vitamin C. You also want to eat your, fruits. You'll get a good amount of vitamin C from fruits. It is an antioxidant, but it's not as strong as C60. The reason being is that vitamin C can only neutralize one free radical. A C60 is a molecule that has 60 carbons, and it can recharge the way the molecule is designed. So you'll be able to soak up thousands of free radicals versus per molecule of C60 versus one molecule of vitamin C can only soak up one free radical. All right, multivitamins, really important, right? You have minerals and vitamins as cofactors for enzymes. If you don't take a multivitamin every day, you're going to be subpar with your enzymatic activity. So take a multivitamin every day. I sell an easy to digest multivitamin. So go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and get that multivitamin. Take it every day. Resveratrol, known to be an anti-aging compound, right? But it's also a antioxidant, right? It'll bring down those reactive oxygen species. It's synergistic with C60. It'll help to get rid of senescent cells. When we get older, we have a buildup of senescent cells. What that basically means is that those cells stop to divide. Now, people would say that's a good thing. Well, it's going to stop to divide, but it doesn't want to die. And the problem is that it starts to become a buildup of garbage. There's toxins that start to build up in these cells. And as we get older, we get more and more senescent cells. What happens is that you have a basal layer and you start to divide cells, right? And then those cells will divide. Those cells, assuming you're all healthy and there's no cancer or anything, it's just normal cellular division, mitotic division. Those cells, the telomere lengths at the ends of your chromosomes will start to shrink it. And it gets to a point after, depending on the cell type, but around 30, in either range around 30 to 50 cell divisions, you're going to have about you're gonna end the length of you're gonna go into danger zone for the length of your telomere. Now, the cell, once your telomere length is shortened because of cellular division, what will happen is that either the cell will go into apoptosis and die, and some of that basal layer will replenish those cells because that's where your adult stem cells are for most tissues. Not all tissues have adult stem cells, but some do. Many do. And or it can go into senescence and just kind of stay there and it won't go into apoptosis. But over time, as we get older, we start to have more and more of these senescent cells and the tissue average telomere length is smaller, is shorter. That's bad. So the reason why is that you'll have, as you get older, these shorter telomeres, all right? These cells are senesced and they're collecting garbage. Lipofuscin is one example. But and the mitochondrial health will start to go down, and the free radical load starts to go up. This is the reason why taking C60 is so important to bring down that free radical load, right? Because those free radicals will do cellular damage to the cell, and especially these senesced cells that don't want to go into apoptosis. So you want to take resveratrol to get rid of these senesced cells, get rid of that garbage, and to help to repopulate that tissue. Now, if you take a patient that is not on an anti-aging protocol, all right, and it's not taking resveratrol, isn't taking C60, right, and you sample them, now and then 10 years later, you'll start to notice that their telomere length in the tissues that you're sampling, the telomere lengths are shorter, all right? That the average telomere length. So you have tissue age. And let's say that person is 50 years old. So you started the sampling at age 40 and you did another sampling at age 50. So this was a 10-year study, let's just say. And you did the same thing with a patient that was taking an anti-aging protocol, right? That was taking resveratrol and taking C60, right? And you did this for 10 years, all right? What you're going to notice is that the person that was taking the anti-aging protocol, their telomere length in those same tissues are going to be longer compared to the one that's not taking the anti-aging protocol. They're same age, same relative lifestyle. The only thing different is the protocol versus the non-protocol. The reason being is to say you're getting rid of senesced cells and you're having the basal layer, which is the adult stem cells, repopulated. So the age of the tissue is actually younger, even though their chronological age grew 10 years. This is the reason why people that are on, higher doses of antioxidants and takes care of their body, right? And it's not, and they're keeping that free radical load down. They look so much younger because their adult stem cells are actually repopulating that tissue with longer telomere lengths. All right. Trust me, what I just said is worth thousands of dollars in medical care costs. All right. If you didn't want to pay attention, because eventually, a certain type of lifestyle will lead to, if it's not a good lifestyle, will lead to disease. And you either invest in your body now, or you're going to be paying later. You're going to be paying either way. And it's cheaper to have proper lifestyle, proper nutrition, proper supplementation, and the earlier the better because of the compound effect. So vitamin D3, very important to absorb calcium, but not just that, it is a gene expression cofactor. You don't get good gene expression if you're low on D3. You wonder why so many people have chronic illness, because they're low on D3. So it's not just about absorbing calcium and sun exposure and all that. It's also, you need D3 as a cofactor for gene expression. Clarity factor. We need to have those neurons firing, those neurotransmitters being released in the synaptic cleft and getting those postsynaptic neurons firing and keep those dendritic connections. When we get older, those dendritic connections start to recede. We slow down on our thinking. We have more oxidative load that's going on the neuron. The way to slow that down and improve your cognitive function is to reduce the free radicals. By reducing the free radicals in the neuron, you're going to start boosting up your ATP because you're going to have more healthier mitochondria, and you're going to have a more firing of the actual neuron. These neurotransmitters will release more, all right, at a faster rate. When you get these neurotransmitters firing more often, your dendritic connections improve. That means memory will improve and your cognitive thinking will improve. your acuity will be quicker. Why is it that people start to see many geriatric patients have acuity problems? Well, it's because of this aging of the cell and the lowering of the ATP. You bring down the free radical, you up the ATP, you're improving the neurotransmitters, and with with a higher firing rate, you're going to improve and you're going to grow those dendritic connections. It's called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity can go both ways. It can improve the dendritic connections, or the dendritic connections can recede. So you know, trust me, you're going to want to increase your dendritic connections as we age. All right. So, and also, you know, the reason why balancing exercises are so important is just that the cerebellum starts to age. Well, if you're not firing your cerebellum and these networks that are helping with balancing the right and the left side of the body, right? Especially your lower extremities, then you're going to start to have your cerebellum age more. Now, many people that you know are chronic alcoholics, they start to have cerebellum issues early in life. You know, all you got to do is just look at an autopsy of a chronic alcoholic, and it's at the gross level. You can see atrophy in the cerebellum. So trust me on this. I know what I'm talking about, right? So take clarity factor. It'll help with that, get rid of that brain fog and get those neurons firing, right? And then by doing that, and with the protocol, you're going to improve your mental acuity. All right. Structural nanosilver, really important. All right. That helps to neutralize pathogens. I have very high quality soaps. You know, instead of using Dove, all right, with a bunch of chemicals, you know, that a lot of people are using soaps they have a bunch of chemicals. Use something that is higher quality, right? And that there's going to be an added health benefit. All right. So I have these structural nanosilver soaps, very high quality. All right. And I have them in different scents. This one is in lavender. This one here is in oatmeal. And the two others that I have on hand here on my desk is charcoal tea tree, and the other one's peppermint. I have another one, I think it's lemongrass, on my store. I also have structural nanosilver lozenges and drops. We're getting near the tail end of the cold season. All right. So congratulations, you survived this cold season. All right. But we're going to be moving into the season, you know, in the spring in the United States, where there's going to be antigens floating around, you know, pollen and all that may irritate your throat. All right. I recommend that you go to my store and get the blueberry silver lozenges, right, or drops. So this blueberry is a drop, and it's 100 count. I also have a honey and lemon drop, silver drop, in 100 count. All right, they're smaller compared to the lozenges, but they help to soothe that throat and to neutralize pathogens. I also have green apple silver lozenges, which are larger. This is in a 20 count. And then I have two new products that I put on the store that's also silver lozenges, but this one's Manuka honey. And you get this in a 21 count, so you get kind of one free lozenge. And then elderberry zinc, all right, also in a 21 count. So those are the two new products that I have on the store to help to control your lipid profile, to improve your cardiovascular health. Take omega-3. All right, go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and that's going to improve your lipid profile. What you want to do is bring up your HDL, bring down your LDL, bring down your triglycerides, bring down your cholesterol, because most people in America have way too high cholesterol and way too high triglycerides. All right. So to help to improve your lipid profile, go to my store and get the omega-3. And that will improve your cardiovascular health. Now, I'll do another video on how to actually bring down plaque buildup and how to prevent plaque buildup. All right. As we age, we start to build up plaque. Actually, we start to build up plaque when you're about 15 years old, 16 years old. It's called yellow streaking. And it caused just enough cellular damage at a very young age, where over time there's going to be a deposit of plaque. Okay. You don't start seeing the manifestations of the yellow streak until about your 30s or 40s or 50s, depending on your lifestyle and depending on, family factors and all, a lot of other things, right? But there's a way to slow down that process. There's a way to diminish the plaque buildup. All right. So part of it is taking omega-3. Another part of it is taking K2 MK7, which I don't sell. But I will do a video, which I have done before, about how to focus on just the cardiovascular part of the anti-aging protocol. Structural nanosilver toothpaste. Whitens your teeth, freshens your breath, neutralizes pathogens, does not have fluoride. Get fluoride out of your system. Get fluoride. You do not want fluoride in your water. Fluoride affects your pineal gland. Don't believe this horse shit that fluoride is good for you. It's not. All right. This is way better than anything that you're buying at the store. It's way better than Crest. It's way better than AIM. It's way better than Armor Hammer. It's way better than even Alex Jones's toothpaste. All right. The best toothpaste you can purchase is the one I have in my hand. All right. So go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and get the structural nanosilver toothpaste that I offer. All right. Get a couple tubes of it. Some people buy it in 5 or 10, in 5 or 10 quantities. But please, this is a great toothpaste, very high quality. It'll neutralize pathogens, reduce that inflamed gum. All right. And by having a really good oral hygiene, and this is synergistic with the liquid nanosilver. Remember what I said with the liquid nanosilver? You take a teaspoon of it a day and you swish it in your mouth and you swallow it, right? You're neutralizing pathogens through the liquid, right? You're improving your health, but you're also using the toothpaste, right? And by doing that, you're reducing cardiovascular disease and you're reducing valvular disease. Oh, yeah. Oral hygiene. Bad oral hygiene will cause cardiovascular disease. So just, take my advice or don't take my advice. It's up to you. And who looks younger? Alex Jones or DrPaulCottrell? DrPaulCottrell looks a lot younger than Alex Jones. And even DrPaulCottrell is older than Alex Jones. So who do you really want to believe? Someone that is, saying certain things and doesn't even live the lifestyle, or someone like myself that says things that will improve your health and does it in his own, for his own protocol and his own lifestyle. I mean, Alex Jones is bullshit. All right. So go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and get the silver gel. I have 2 types. There's one in a tube and there's another one in an easy dispenser. This is important because you can put this on your hands. It stays active for 5 hours. It helps to heal your hands and it will neutralize pathogens. We all know why that's so important. You can put it around your mouth, around your nose, lightly coat your nostrils. You can put it around your ears and your eyes. You can't do that with Perel. Perel is toxic for your eyes, toxic for your mouth, toxic for your nose, toxic for your ears. And oh, by the way, Perel cracks your skin. So it doesn't heal your skin. And it stays active for about 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds, not 5 hours. So which product is actually better for you? Perel or structural nanosilver gel? So please go to my store, get the structural nanosilver gel, and take my advice. Use it as a skincare product. You can put it on a cut. It'll help to heal the cut about a third of the time faster. So, 33% quicker. It'll help to heal minor burns and abrasions. You can put it on acne. And many people follow my skincare recommendation. I have this idea where you use the silver gel, you apply it on your skin. You can apply it on your face, your neck. Some people put it on their whole body, and you keep it on while you sleep, right? So you put it on right before you go to bed, and then you exfoliate in the morning, all right? Then in the morning, you're taking the collagen every day that I offer on the store, and the vitamin C, and you drink 64 ounces of filtered water throughout the day, all right? And what that will do is that there's a cross-linking between the vitamin C and the collagen to improve your dermal layer. And the topical healing is taking place from the structural nanosilver that's on your skin that you're exfoliating each morning, all right? That's the basic process for the skincare. Now you can give it another kick and improve the basal layer by taking the C60 and the resveratrol. And what that will do is improve that basal layer that's repopulating the skin cells, because your skin is constantly being rejuvenated because you're shedding skin, right? Now, there are people that have diseases like, psoriasis, and, there's more complications, with some of those diseases where, some people don't shed skin cells and it starts to build up. But for an average person, this is a great way to improve your basal layer. Now, for ones that have psoriasis, and they're having plaque buildup, I have a product that can be applied to psoriasis. All right, it's what is called the Even Better Bar. I partnered up with Rainbow Herbals, and we've created this bar made out of essential oils from the Himalayas that can be rubbed on your irritated skin, psoriasis or eczema or whatever, to help to heal it. All right. It's not a silver bullet, but the thing is it'll provide relief. But the Even Better Bar is a multi-purpose bar. That's the way it was designed. All right. If you apply it to a sore muscle, the soreness will go away, especially after a workout, or maybe you pulled a muscle. All right. Another thing that the Even Better Bar does is you can apply it to acne and help to heal it, or a cut. It'll help to heal the cut. All right. It will reduce the irritation from a bug bite. So, the Even Better Bar is great for, the summer season, especially if you have kids, right? And they're constantly outside getting bit by mosquitoes or whatever. So, go to the store and purchase that Even Better Bar. It's multi-purpose. You can use it for many different things. But we also created a deodorant, two versions, one a citrus deodorant and another peppermint tea tree lavender deodorant. And that has dual purpose. Not only is it used as a deodorant for males and females, but it will slowly detoxify your body because of the essential oils, also from the Himalayas, very high quality. So go to the store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, and get the deodorants and the Even Better Bar. All right. You won't be able to find that, at your local drugstore, what I just said. I just, Just take my advice and you're going to start seeing, seeing huge improvements. Those are just some of the products that I offer on the store. I have many, many others. I don't have the time to go through all of them, but please go to the store, the-studio-reykjavik.com, get the supplements, and also sign up for the pulmonology lecture series that I have been creating. You go to the store, you go to classes, you purchase the pulmonary module for $50. You get 22 lectures. Each lecture has a slide deck that's in PDF and also a video that accompanies the slide deck. And I walk you through it of that particular system. All right. I go over a lot of different topics that are in pulmonology, and you're going to learn a lot. And then the next module that I release will be infectious diseases. Probably because we're going to need to worry about infectious diseases. But, that way you get more educated, you become a citizen scientist, you learn a lot for $50. And each day I am populating a new lecture on the website. These lectures are anywhere from like 25 minutes to an hour long, depending on the content. All right. I just uploaded the hypoxia lecture, and tomorrow will be, I think, ventilation and perfusion. So please, each day you'll learn another item. There's 22 total lectures for only $50. It's a great deal. It's a great deal. So go to the store, get the module, and go to the store and get the health products and follow the protocol. Take charge of your life, because if you don't take charge of your life, no one will. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.